Ms. Baker with our read aloud of Lois Lowry's Numbered Stars. So I'm back in the classroom today, which is quite empty and odd without any of you guys around. We'll make do as best we can, right? So, chapter 13, run as fast as you can. Still moving quietly, so as not to wake her sister, Anne-Marie spread down the stairs and through the kitchen door. Her foot caught the loose step and she faltered for a moment, righting herself, then dashed across the ground to the place where her mother lay. "Mama!" she called desperately. "Mama!" "Shh!" Mama said, raising her head. "I'm all right." "But Mama!" Anne-Marie asked, kneeling beside her. "What's wrong? What's happened?" Her mother pulled herself into a seating position. She winced in pain. "I'm all right, really. Don't worry. And the Rosens are with Henrik. That's the important thing." She smiled a little, though her face was drawn with pain, and she bit her lip, the smile fading. "We got there quite quickly, even though it was still so dark, and it was difficult for the Rosens, not knowing the path. Henrik was there waiting on the boat, and he took them aboard and down below so quickly into the cabin that they were invisible in just an instant. He said the others were already there. Peter got them there safely too. So I turned and hurried home. I was so anxious to get home, get back to you girls. I should have been more careful." Talking softly, she brushed some grass and dirt from her hands. "Can you believe it? I was very nearly here. Well, maybe just about halfway, when I tripped over a root and went sprawling." Mama sighed. "So clumsy," she said, as if she were scolding herself. "But I'm afraid my ankle is broken, Anne-Marie. Thank goodness it's nothing worse. An ankle mends, and I am home, and the Rosens, they're safe with Henrik." "You should have seen me, Anne-Marie," she said, shaking her head with a wry look. "Your proper mama, crawling inch by inch. I probably looked like a drunkard." She reached for Anne-Marie's arm. "Here, let me lean on you. I think if you support me on this side, I can make my way up into the house. Goodness, what a clumsy fool I am. Here, let me put my arm over your shoulders. You're such a good, strong, and brave girl. Now, slowly, very slowly. Ah, there." Mama's face was white with pain. Anne-Marie could see it even through the faint light of the approaching dawn. She hobbled, leaning heavily on her daughter, pausing again and again toward the house. "When we get inside, I'll have a cup of tea, and then I will call the doctor. I'll tell him that I fell on the grass, or maybe on the stairs. You'll have to wash me up. You have to get these twigs off me. Here, Anne-Marie, let me rest here for one moment." They had reached the house, and Mama sank down to the steps and sat. She took several deep breaths. Anne-Marie had sat down beside her and held her hand. "Mama, I was so worried when you didn't come back." Mama nodded. I knew you would be. I thought of you, worrying as I dragged myself along. But here I am, safe with you. Now, okay, Anne-Marie, everything is fine. What time is it?" "It must be about 4:30 or close to it." "They will sail soon." Mama turned her head and gazed across the meadow to the sea and the vast sky above it. There were no stars now, only the gray, pale sky, with a pinkness at its border. Soon they will be safe too. Anne-Marie relaxed. She stroked her mother's hand and looked down at the discolored and swollen ankle. "Mama, what is this?" she asked suddenly, reaching into the grass at the foot of the steps. Mama looked. Then she gasped. "Oh my God," she said. Anne-Marie picked it up. She recognized it now, knew it for what it was. It was the packet that Peter had given to Mr. Rosen. Mr. Rosen must have tripped on the step, remember? It must have fallen out of his pocket. We'll have to save it and give it back to Peter. Anne-Marie handed it to her mother. "Do you know what it is?" Her mother didn't answer. Her face was stricken. She looked at the path and down at her ankle. "This is important, isn't it, Mama?" "It was for Uncle Henrik. I remember Peter said it was very important. I heard him tell that to Mr. Rosen." Her mother tried to stand, but she fell back against the steps with a groan. My God," she murmured. It may have all been for nothing." Anne-Marie took the packet from her mother's hands and stood. "Okay, I'll take it now. I know the way, and it's almost light. I can run like the wind." Mama spoke quickly. "Anne-Marie, go into the house and get the small basket on the table. Quickly now. Put an apple into it and some cheese. Put this packet underneath. Do you understand me? And hurry." Anne-Marie did instantly as she was told. The basket, the packet at the bottom, she covered it with a napkin. Then she wrapped up some cheese and an apple. She glanced around the little kitchen and saw some bread, so she added that. The little basket was almost full. She took it to where her mother was. "You must run to the boat. If anyone should stop you..." "Well, who's going to stop me?" "Anne-Marie, you understand how dangerous this is. If any soldiers see you, if they stop you, you must pretend to be nothing more than a silly little girl. A silly, empty-headed little girl taking lunch to a fisherman, a foolish uncle who forgot his bread and cheese." "Mama, "What is this at the bottom?" But her mother still didn't answer the question. "Go! Go!" she said firmly. "Go right now and run! Run as fast as you can!" Anne-Marie kissed her mother quickly, grabbed the basket from her mother's lap, turned, and ran towards the path. So that was a short chapter today, but something very important seems to have been forgotten. I wonder what it is. Tune in for the next chapter so